Hi, welcome to Interview With A Bothan. Neither of us is a Bothan, and we have no plans to interview one. I'm Lenny, and that's Lou.
Hi, I'm Lou.
Today we're talking about Heir to the Empire, starting with release info, and then we're going to do a plot overview, spoilers ahead, and then we will talk about some stuff we think is interesting.
Yeah, we will be talking in depth about things that happen in this book. To be fair, this book was released in 1991, and also it's the title of the episode. You have been warned. If you haven't read Heir to the Empire, both me and Timothy Zahn are disappointed in you. Oh, this was released in May 91 by Timothy Zahn. It's published by Bantam Books originally. Now it's published by Del Rey. Shout out to my fancy schmancy new mass market copy of The Last Command.
Horny picture of Thrawn.
Yeah, with a really sexy picture of Thrawn.
Yeah.
Because he works out.
He does.
You gotta watch Rebels.
I
He
guess
works
so.
out all the time in Rebels. He fights assassin droids.
I gotta watch this show. What the?
And it's part one of a trilogy. It's the Thrawn Trilogy, and we'll be covering all three. Other than the Han Solo and Lando Calrissian adventures and the West End Game source books, is the beginning of the EU.
Alright, so plot overview. Events of this book place 5 years after the Return of the Jedi in 9 ABY, or after the Battle of Yavin, which is when the first Death Star was destroyed. So it's fun that the destruction of the first Death Star is the birth of Christ. So, Grand Admiral Thrawn is trying to reinstate the Galactic Empire. His plan involves force-repellent lizards called Isalamiri, cloning cylinders, and an insane cloned Jedi, Jerus Sabia. At his side, he has Gilad Pelion and the allegiance of the Nogri, a hyper-militaristic species. At the start of the book, he has yet to launch a major offensive or make his identity known to the New Republic. Meanwhile, the New Republic is struggling to establish economic and political stability. To that end, Leia Organa has been on diplomatic missions to get new worlds to join the New Republic. Han Solo is working on getting smugglers to, quote, go respectable and become importer-exporters for the New Republic. Luke Skywalker is working to rebuild the Jedi Order, mostly on vibes. Jerus Sabioth agrees to help Thrawn rebuild the Empire so long as Thrawn aids him in bringing new potential Dark Jedi acolytes, who are Luke and Leia, and a mystery third party. And Leia's Jedi, probably very Force-sensitive twins. Thrawn's enforcers, the Nogri, almost kidnap Leia multiple times, after which she agrees to hide out on Kashyyyk, the Wookiee homeworld. She is almost kidnapped there by Nogri again, but one of them recognizes her by smell as a descendant of their Lord Vader and refuses to harm her. The potential for a shift in Nogri alliances is set up in this meeting. On his way to follow vibes, Luke almost gets kidnapped by Thrawn, but in his effort to escape is ultimately captured by my favorite smuggler, Talon Card. He meets Card's associate, Mara Jade, who also really wants to kill Luke Skywalker. Han goes to meet up with Lando because he's pretty sure that Lando will have intel on where to get a good code slicer. When he is there meeting with Lando, Thrawn shows up to steal some of Lando's mole miners, which are just mining technology. After the destruction of Lando's latest venture, Lando agrees to accompany Han to meet with Card to get Card's help enlisting a slicer who could help find a leak in New Republic intelligence. Han, Lando, and Luke are reunited at Card's base on Mirkir after Luke escapes another of Thrawn's kidnapping attempts with the begrudging help of Mara Jade. We learn that Mara Jade wants to kill him so bad because she used to be the Emperor's covert enforcer, and he molded her Force sensitivity, which she has since lost control of after his death. Thrawn leaves to conduct his operation on the Sluis Van shipyards, even though he didn't capture Luke, but the Sluis Van shipyard attack has been very meticulously timed. So he cuts his losses and goes there, and he uses the stolen mole miners to attempt to steal New Republic ships. Han and Lando follow him there, and they slay the day, and Thrawn retreats, but many New Republic ships are lost, but at least Thrawn doesn't have them. The gang gets news from Coruscant. Admiral Akbar has been arrested for treason, accused by Borsk Phalia of
taking money from the Empire.
And the Empire?
Yeah.
No, there's just like mysterious financial activity.
So, good news. Lenny, today, learned what a warlord was.
Yes, I did. Well, you see two words and they're mushed together. You know what one word means, you know what the other word means. But when they're in one word together, they have a whole separate meaning.
So you were reading the Wikipedia page for warlord.
Yeah, I was.
Because we are academics.
Yes, no, this is
this is what academics do.
You read Wikipedia. The warlords are individuals who exercise military, economic, and political control over a region, often without a strong central or national government. Yeah.
Like the steppe nomads.
Exactly. All right, so Thrawn reminds me of Timur, and here's why. Timur, for those who don't know, Timur was born in 1336 or 1320, depending on the sources, near Samarkand in what is now Uzbekistan. Through force and some key betrayals and senseless killing, he managed to capture Samarkand in 1370, which became the Timurid Empire. He claimed that this empire was the restored Mongol Empire. He, despite not being related to Genghis Khan.
No, he is related.
He's not.
Like,
I looked into it. He's
vaguely.
just not. Yeah.
No, I thought he's like related to...
Yeah.
You're probably right. But from what I saw, they're like related like 7 or 8 generations back.
I mean, I think it's the way that like everyone is, but like there was a whole thing because he was, in order to get legitimacy as a ruler, he had to do a lot of workarounds because he wasn't part of the Quraysh tribe, so he couldn't name himself Caliph, and he wasn't...
But wasn't he Caliph?
No.
Wow, his Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Rife with errors.
Yeah. Because there are so many like conflicting sources because like he constructed himself in such a...
Interesting way. Okay.
He did love Islam.
Well, who doesn't?
Yeah. But couldn't claim himself caliph, as very few can. He is also known as a patron of art and scholarship, and was also known for looting the places he invaded for their art and bringing them back to his beloved Samarkand. So he is a self-proclaimed heir to an empire, a war criminal, and an art lover.
I don't think he's a war criminal because war crimes didn't exist yet.
Okay, well...
Like the concept of a war crime?
No, they did not exist yet.
Like Genghis Khan was literally...
Yeah. I know.
Doing biological warfare.
Yeah. Okay,
which was
so
bad.
not a war criminal. He was
dubiously a war criminal.
Yeah.
If he had lived today.
Can anachronistically dub him a war criminal.
Okay.
And for the purposes of the analogy, it's a smoother line to say.
Well, I mean, for the purposes of the analogy, like we don't know if there are any
war crime conventions.
Any equivalents to the Geneva Convention.
Okay, so he was a self-proclaimed heir to an empire, a genocidal maniac, and an art lover.
Yeah.
There we go.
That works.
It's sort of not entirely specified what exactly a warlord is in the Star Wars universe. So in regular life, warlord is not really beholden to but in Star Wars, at least in the way the Empire seemed to work, there were warlords who got territory specifically for the Emperor. Quote, his brilliant successes had earned him the title of warlord and the right to wear the white uniform of Grand Admiral, the only non-human ever granted the honor by the Empire.
Well, there's like warlords, pirate warlords, regular warlords, and the Imperial Remnant.
Yeah. Well, it seemed like the way that Pelion was describing Thrawn in his head when we first meet him, Thrawn's role in the Empire was in the unknown regions, which
are famously unknown. They've never written any books about them.
This has never happened.
No.
Well, I've never read them, so they don't exist.
They don't exist.
The only thing I've read about the unknown regions is a fan fiction.
Okay, so this is a quick side note. I was reading Death Stars and Democracy when you came over. Chris Kempshall actually has a thing about this, where I guess Grand Admiral's the Nazi thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah. He writes academic books in addition to that. He wrote an in-universe monograph.
Oh no way.
Disney paid him to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, but he also is a war historian. And Chris Kempshall's book, Death Stars and Democracy. So, in reference to Grand Admiral, I guess Zahn had encountered the Grand Admiral title from William L. Shire's book, The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, which shares the title with Kempshall's book, which is The Rise and Fall of the Galactic Empire. Yeah. Referring to the German Navy, and therefore extend the crossover between the Nazis and the Galactic Empire. Well, everyone is so obsessed with slaves in this book specifically. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because, the Nogri, low-key slaves. Mm-hmm. Ships, slaves. In one of the Complete Guides to the Galaxy, Pablo Hidalgo does say that the Empire outlaws slavery. Allegedly they outlawed slavery, but it is also redacted in the same book.
What do you mean by that? That it's redacted in the same book?
Other people talk about slavery.
Yeah.
Well, in the book that Pablo Hidalgo is the Empire outlawed slavery.
Yeah, because in this book, there's reference to the Empire's slave trading of Wookiees.
Yes.
So...
Yeah, which is my question.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, did they outlaw human slaves? Presumably no.
Yeah.
Given Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. I mean, something being outlawed doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
Darth Vader would never condone that.
Oh, Darth Vader.
He would never condone sexual violence. Yeah. Or sexual slavery, for sure. Mm-hmm. No, I guess my question is how does slavery function? So then I fucking looked it up, and I very vaguely knew this. I have not read any comics because I don't like people telling me what to think visually. And like the Rakuten Empire, which is featured in Andor very briefly, they enslaved people who were force sensitive, or people or beings or whatever. And then the Galactic Republic, and this is EU, this is not the Disney thing. I did not check the canon page for this. And the Galactic Republic also outlawed slavery, but we see how well that turned out.
Yeah.
With
Anakin
Skywalker and his mother, Space Mary. Yeah, and the Jedi, like, canonically do not give a fuck about slavery, because slavery naturally bred and intensified the dark side, including emotions of hatred and fear. Anakin faced peculiar challenges in the mind and spirit in his quest not only to become a Jedi Knight, but to fulfill his destiny as a chosen one. Because he, like, cared too much about slaves. About freeing fucking slaves.
And the Jedi disagreed with that.
Yeah, basically. But then, like, you have, like, Clone Wars. There's a lot of episodes where they, like, engage with slavers, mostly to put Ahsoka in weird outfits.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, absolutely insane train of thought. And there is an Imperial Decree ASL 4557.602.232. And then I said this is literally just the 13th Amendment, but for Star Wars. Because they do allow slavery as punishment for a crime. No mention of what species are eligible or ineligible for this. But you can be enslaved legally sometimes. There's also obviously a sex trade that no one cares about, seemingly. Much like the real life sex trade. Except it's a specific species that is usually traded, which is an enslaved labor, which is like mostly Wookiees and shit like that.
Yeah.
My other question is, why are the ships slaves?
Yeah.
Yeah, like how sentient are ships?
I don't know. It's worth noting this is in direct relation to how ships, when they're all linked to a master ship.
Yes, it's like a computer.
Yeah.
It's like a master-slave computer, yeah.
Called, like, if they are programmed to move together, they're slave rigged. So yeah, what you wrote, which is like slavery in that sense indicates that the thing being enslaved has self-awareness.
But as we see from ChatGPT, not to be like droids aren't people, but like...
I mean, but also I think droids and ships, their sentience is treated differently.
You haven't seen the Han Solo movie?
No, I haven't. I mean, yeah. I mean, I've heard how Han Solo talks about the Millennium Falcon.
But yeah, did you know the Lando Calrissian has a thing for droid?
I did not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what is
and then the droid is put into the Millennium Falcon.
Uh-huh.
So the ship itself is that droid.
Oh, is that why
the Nava computer is the droid that Lando Calrissian wanted to fuck. Who is a droids rights activist? You should really watch this movie.
All right.
It's insane. Yeah, I mean, and it also kind of goes through the whole, like, human centrism thing, which goes back to the Thrawn being the world's, the galaxy's best phrenologist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is, like, when you say human, supremacy, which allegedly was so prevalent, people are talking about it 20 years after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everyone that was that guy in the Empire is dead by that point. Everyone's like, you know, Palpatine is like fucking hated anybody that wasn't human, like, which is just a very interesting kind of I guess it's a dichotomy because you're either human or you're not human.
Yeah.
Even though, like, Thrawn himself is part of a near-human species.
Yeah.
Twi'leks are a near-human species. So are Rhodians and Dathomorians.
There is a very clear in-universe hierarchy of species, and at the top is humans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Well, humans in the human
The original
perspective.
Sith Empire, they're like hammerhead sharks.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess in this time. Yeah.
Humans, number one.
Is that a good segue into how much Thrawn loves race science?
I think it is. Oh my god.
It's
Thrawn's love of phrenology.
Yeah.
He just be out here measuring skulls.
Yeah. Do we want to define phrenology?
Oh yeah. So phrenology is particularly looking at the physical attributes of a person and attributing those to personality traits, basically. Most famously, measuring skulls.
Yeah.
So they would go around and they would measure people's skulls, and they'd be like, well, this is why
Irish people drink alcohol.
Or that we as in Europeans, because this was a mostly European phenomenon, are like so much better than China. This is why we are destined to colonize Africa and the Indian subcontinent.
Yeah.
Very not cool.
Very, very not cool. And
also not a science.
Really just
famously not a science. It is a pseudoscience.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Chris Kempshall's fucking Death Stars and Democracy.
All right.
I've read this book 6 times in the past year. Is that he does, say that fascism is as much about actions as it is ideology, which, I mean, we can very clearly see in the modern day.
The way
fascism is something that you do rather than a fascist being simply something that you are. Like, it is, for lack of a better term, positive identity. You have to do things to inhibit said identity. Like, you have to be a fascist mostly, and like Dogecoin or red hats. And, you know, he says that there's like a long historiography around defining what specific traits are shared by fascist dictatorships and states.
If fascism is something you do rather than a fascist simply being something that you are,
Your books may redact this.
then I guess Thrawn's whole perspectives on like race science-y thoughts play out is through the way he analyzes art in military tactics.
Yes.
But I mean, obviously he has categories of what is
primitive and what is civilized art.
Yeah. But I was also just sort of thinking about, like, does it exactly matter for the societies that he's killing what he thinks about their art, you know? Why?
What do you mean,
Because, like, I think he wants to destroy the rebellion. And, like, I think in his mind, what's weird to me about Thrawn and art in this book is that his interpretation of art as, like, giving him an insight into the military tactics of his opponents is that, for the most part, so far, it works. So it's weird that I think this book I don't think it does, because he's evidently evil, but, like, it seems to just put forward that you can use reasoning to draw a one-to-one comparison between art and the civilization and the psychology of a species that
they have to
against.
retreat it, Swan.
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
because
that's
he
important.
loses.
Yeah, he does lose.
Yeah.
But isn't he up against humans?
I have some crazy news about Thrawn's species. Can we say it? Does it say it in there? The Chiss.
Yeah.
I have some crazy news about the Chiss and their opinions of themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Chiss are fucking fascists.
Yeah.
Like, full stop.
Mm-hmm.
They're isolationist fascists. They're like fucking Spain.
Mm-hmm.
For anyone who doesn't know what fascist Spain is, talk to anyone older than the age of 50, because George Lucas was writing Star Wars before Spain stopped being fascist. They were filming Star Wars, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, Spain, it was at the end of 75?
I don't remember.
Well, yeah, you weren't alive.
Well, you weren't.
Look it up. Oh no, the can.
Not interested in AI mode. November 20th, 1975.
Okay, so when did Georg Lucas make Star Wars? Okay, I don't give a fuck when the film was released.
He started filming in early 76.
Okay, so there was less than a 6-month gap between Spain no longer being fascist and our buddy boy George Lucas starting Star Wars. Yeah, like, and not that he has anything to do with the Chiss or this book or most of the characters in the book, particularly Mara Jade. And I mean, like, Thrawn's analysis of art isn't art analysis. I feel like a lot of people have said that.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't understand art.
No, he doesn't.
He understands art like a white man in 1890 understood skulls. Yes. I can now siege Quebec City by looking at this can that is not made in Quebec City, but my point still stands.
Yeah.
Because that's what he does. He's like, ooh, wow, I found this singular piece of art from this planet.
Yeah.
Without any understanding of, like, the cities or the interconnected systems in planets.
Yeah. Putting humans into hierarchies was really popular in the 19th century.
So popular.
So popular.
We
which
fought
is
2
also,
wars over it, actually.
Yeah. when the fields of anthropology and art history as we know it were, like, established.
Yes.
Basically, Thrawn's whole approach to guessing the military strategy of his enemies is he has this idea that when you understand a species' art, you understand that species.
Which, absolutely insane thing to say.
It's a very insane thing to say, especially in the context of every other thing he says around these things. The book starts in a conversation with him and Pelion, where he's talking about how he's going to use the classic Marg Sable maneuver. According to Pelion, no one is stupid enough to fall for anyway. But Thrawn says, no, don't worry. There's an Elam commanding their force, and Elamine simply cannot handle the unstructured attack of a properly executed Marg Sable.
Insane thing to say.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about the field of art history and anthropology. I do want to name drop one cultural anthropologist from the 1800s though.
Who?
Fucking Edward Tyler, who's
Why does he have two first names?
Tylor.
Okay,
I
so
don't
he's
know any-
stupid.
Yeah. He's viewed as the founder of cultural anthropology, and he wrote a 2-part book called Primitive Culture, where he spends a lot of time advising anthropologists on the skill of evaluating civilizational advancement of a people based on a myriad of factors, including the development of their artistic craft, with a very unsubtle hierarchy. There's this wonderful article about the way that 19th century anthropological thought still haunts museums and the way we think about art in our contemporary time, because this article, The Humanity Game, Art, Islam, and the War on Terror by Jessica Winegar from 2008, she pulls apart the idea that was put forward by pulls apart the idea that how these sort of well-meaning liberal cultural elites were putting together art shows trying to showcase art from quote-unquote the Islamic world, which reads just as the Middle East, which is also a problematic category to conflate the Islamic world with the Middle East when there are so many other religions present in the Middle East and Muslims practice their faith all over the world. So what does that mean? And there were these art shows happening around when the War on Terror was really at its peak.
What's the War on Terror?
What's the War on Terror? Well, after 9/11.
What's 9/11? So were you alive?
When 9/11 happened? Yeah, I was alive when 9/11 happened.
How old
Fuck
were you?
Like 6 months old or some shit like that. Fuck off. After 9/11, there was
this crazy thing called the Iraq War.
Yeah.
Okay, Samuel Huntington. Who is that?
He's a fucking...
Where's he from?
America. He's a pop academic who wrote a book called The Clash of Civilizations, and his thesis was basically that war was going to be cultural, and he divided culture into, I think there were 6 world cultures, but the main ones that he focuses on are Western culture and Islamic culture, and those are going to be the main ones that are going to duke it out for world power.
What is Western culture in this context?
No one knows. But
not
Western,
Japan?
he means like, no, not Japan, because he means specifically Christian. But to sort of combat the widespread dehumanization of Muslims and brown people generally during the War on Terror, which is obviously a still ongoing thing. There were a lot...
Technically it's not. We've pulled out of Afghanistan.
No, I mean ongoing thing in terms of racism.
Oh yeah, people are still racist, but the War on Terror is no longer happening.
That.
Okay, so I'm going to keep asking you questions about Samuel Huntington and his stupid thesis about
I feel like I had it articulated, and so now I'm going to move past Samuel Huntington and the whole point of these art shows, which is kind of not the point of anything. But basically the whole idea is she's problematizing the notion that for someone to be human, they must make art that you respect. And so in that articles, she spends a good amount of time talking about the history of art being respectable or not respectable, or fine arts are the lesser arts. So fine arts tend to be paintings, sculpting, mostly confined to visual arts. Fine art is distinguished by the fact that it is made just for the sake of being art, whereas crafts are made for a purpose, and the fact that they're made with for I guess a utilitarian reason. But there's also it's deeper than that, because there is also, of course, the application of primitive categorization on art that I don't know how to explain it.
Okay, so you mentioned material culture and craft. Mm-hmm. Why would craft not be respected?
I think it basically, like, if I'm putting my 19th century anthropologist hat on.
Oh, please do.
It's if you're making something that, even if it looks pretty, but it's, for example, pottery or a basket or cloth, and that thing is for the purpose of being worn or holding something.
Like you would do if you made fucking pottery.
Yes.
Or baskets.
Many such cases.
Or if you took up weaving. Yeah. Or knitting or crocheting or tatting or...
any of those things. If what you're making is not for something, if you're making it for it to be used, yeah, then that indicates a lower register of consciousness.
Okay, next question.
Yeah.
How does bobbin lace fit into this?
I don't know what that is.
The one where they use all the little pins? Because it's purely decorative, but we put it on clothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think bob and lace really exists like that anymore, but
Yeah.
like, is that considered a craft?
Yeah. I mean, that's also, then there gets in this subject of gender.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Women do that, so it's
Yeah.
not art.
Okay.
Like, that's what women do so that we know that they're not cheating on their husbands when they leave them at home. So, like, oh, look, you made that all that lace. You must have kept your hands busy. This is I have promised. This is why my dad says that Greek women are supposed to bake all the time, is to show that they were not up to no good while their husbands were off working.
Okay, you can get fucked while you make some bread.
It's true. You leave that shit in the oven.
Yeah, it's gotta rise for 2 hours.
Yeah, but this is why you have to make a bunch of very intricate cookies, and you have to stretch out the phyllo dough by hand. Anyway, so the point is, ideas we have about art and what it means to be human or civilized are based in what is a progressivist view of human development.
Hey, Lenny, what's the progressivist view of human development?
Fucking this idea that, like, we used to be primitive, then we were savage, then we were barbaric, and now we're civilized. Is the we the Goths? The we is all humans, but some humans, if I'm putting my 19th century anthropologist hat on again, are stuck in time. And so there's this idea of the civilized, which basically equals, are you from Europe, specifically industrialized Western Europe,
Rip to Romania,
represents the height of what a human can be. And you can, that's mappable through artistic expression.
Okay, so we could like 1-to-1. I guess you can 1-to-1 most social to the galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
But like, there is the idea that if fucking Luke Skywalker talks like a hick, right? Like, he's from a backwater. Han Solo is from Corellia. Corellians have an accent there. And this goes to the kind of like monoculture thing. Is there a correct way to do art in the Empire? And that way is not the way they are doing it on Ryloth or Tatooine. The way they are doing that is on Coruscant. Except what is Coruscant? We don't know yet. But we do. There are mountains. Is that in this? Do they talk about the mountains in this one?
I don't remember.
Or is it the next one?
Yeah.
I love the mountains of Coruscant. I go skiing on the mountains of Coruscant.
Coruscant is Rome, ?
Low-key.
The Minari Mountains.
But like, there's a way to be an artist and to study art. And then, in whatever civilization Thrawn is from that neither of us know about. Not yet. Woohoo! Is like, what is his species? What are their perceptions of art? What do they value?
Yeah.
You know, like, how does that either corroborate or, for lack of a better term, like, fuck with his ability to integrate into the Empire, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I had a theory about Thrawn and art, but, well, it's like, I guess I'm shifting to, like, an out-of-universe idea for the association between Thrawn and art. Is Zahn talked about what he wanted out of the new villain he was making, and like he wanted Thrawn to not be a ball of rage the way Darth Vader is, like a cool, calm, collected kind of war criminal. And I feel like him caring about art is sort of like part of his softer characterization.
What do you mean by softer characterization?
I mean, he's evidently, or more genteel. You know? Like,
He's very aristocratic.
He is very aristocratic.
Back to being civilized. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
What about him?
Has thoughts about being civilized. So, not to get incredibly off topic, but I promise I have a point here. So, when Obi-Wan Kenobi fights General Grievous on Utapau, not only does he set him on fucking fire, after he does that, because, you know, they've been fighting for... It's probably, I would argue, the best fight in Revenge of the Sith. He ends it with so uncivilized. And this is ignoring the fact that General Grievous is literally just fucking Osama bin Laden, like beat for beat. It's kind of insane. I could talk about it for days. But Obi-Wan Kenobi himself, having grown up on Coruscant, has opinions about what is and is not civilized, because he grew up in the Jedi Temple, which is, you know, not 100 levels underground. He sees the sun on a regular basis. He's able to see a tree on Coruscant, which at that point is the whole planet's a city. There's like a peak of a mountain. You can't go skiing there.
No.
And then if you relate this back to, you know, and you're talking about Thrawn, who is a Grievous-like character in a lot of ways. Not the Osama bin Laden way, because Osama bin Laden had not been popping off like that yet. But like almost Saddam Hussein-esque. Almost Gulf War. Not quite, but almost, you know. He's really given Maybe more so the Yugoslav wars, which at that point I guess hadn't really started yet, but
Yeah.
very Gorbachev.
How?
Ruining first of all, causing the immediate downfall of the state you're trying to save. Big one. For both Saddam Hussein and Gorbachev. Second of all, being entirely preoccupied with how other states, with how they view you and how you view them. It's really Cold War-esque, which I guess all Star Wars is very Cold War-esque. And even though we do not yet know what Thrawn's home planet is like, also side note, I keep saying this because I've read the first 2 Ascendancy books, but Lenny has not. We don't know what his home planet's like. We don't know what his home system's like or whatever. Like, we don't know how these people act. We don't know if they themselves view themselves as civilized, or if they view Thrawn and the planet he is from as civilized. Don't look at me like that. Thank you. I'm not spoiling things.
So I do know what you mean.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, is Thrawn from a backwater? So what's next?
Well, I feel like we could make a good
Bothans.
tie-in if we're talking about racism, and also if we think about how the new Republic is allegedly not racist. When is
Famously.
that not precisely true?
Well,
In a number of ways.
who the fuck are the Bothans?
I don't know.
Is my question. Because they're mentioned in Return. And you're like, they all died.
Many Bothans.
Turns out they fucking didn't. There's still more Bothans. Most famously, Borsk Thalia. My favorite character.
Borsk Thalia?
Behind Wedge Antilles and a bunch of people who I'm not allowed to mention yet. And Mara Jade. And then there's Borsk Thalia. And, the first time I read this book, which, I don't know, when did The Acolyte come out?
2024.
2024. So last year, I literally watched The Acolyte and was like, wow, I need to cleanse my brain for reasons. And then I was like, let me read Heir to the Empire. And all I could think about was like, why the fuck do people hate Bothans so much? Everyone in this book just really seems like they hate Bothans. This seems racially motivated. And like, I know, and so does the bestie Chris Kempshall, not to bring him up again, that Star Wars has a monoculture problem. So the out-of-universe reason is just because Heir to the Empire was first, and people hated Borsk so fervently that they were just like, wait, what if we just continued doing this? What if we just continued being racist to Bothans? Forever in it. So in Death Stars and Democracy, Chris Kempshall, talking about alien monocultures, states that representatives from various non-human species suggest in the expanded universe that it is only humans, through a lens of their own prejudice, who view these cultures as uniform. These supposed monocultures are often designed to resonate with particularly recognizable aspects of real-world societies, histories, and conceptions of race. So, back to our boy.
Borsk?
Most hated man in the expanded universe. Borsk Thalia. It is like, people, like, the New Republic is racist. Very explicitly. In the same way that the Jedi are racist. In the same way the Empire is racist. They might not be enslaving people or little boys. And then there's kind of the idea of, like, Bothan political ambition, which goes back to the monoculture thing. Because, like, okay, how are you going to say every Bothan is politically minded? How are you going to say every whatever species Thrawn is obsessed with art?
Trade.
Aspect of that they all have really creepy eyes.
Every Hutt is a slave trader.
I thought the Hutts were just the mob.
Every
And,
Nogri is a cold-blooded killer.
Yeah, like, it's just...
Every Gamorrean is a cold-blooded killer.
But also has the IQ of a rock.
Yeah.
Okay, so Borsk Thalia is like, what if I did a coup? So then now every Bothan has to do a coup? Every Bothan has to be behind said coup. Is this the Protocols of the Elders of Zion? In the galaxy far, far away?
What is the Protocols of the Elders of Zion?
It's a book that was written by someone in Russia who was definitely Christian and not Jewish. And it's basically like fraudulent meeting minutes about this secret cabal of Jewish leaders who control the world. Obviously fucking fake. Right? Like, I'm sure that in the Pale of Settlement, where people were, like, regularly dying and they were doing pogroms all the time, they totally had time to control the entire fucking world. While they were, trying to get a decent price for their cow. But it basically proliferated. It's been translated into a bunch of languages. Probably should have checked how many languages. I think it's like 30 or 40.
It was first published in 1903.
Henry Ford did the
Yeah.
English translation.
What a bitch.
I know. Henry Ford was so anti-Semitic. There's like family.
Author unknown.
Yeah, they don't.
Apparently plagiarized from various European authors.
Is there like is this like a Protocols of the Elders of Zion situation where there is just rumors that Bothans have this insatiable political ambition because they see Borskvalia being a little bit of a bitch in public, right? So then, by extension, now every single Bothan is responsible for his fuck-ups.
Yeah. Which is interesting because, I don't know, but how does that play out? Like, do we see, like, I mean, outside of, like, knowing that every Bothan is sort of treated with inherent suspicion.
I have not read New Jedi Order. I have no idea.
Yeah. So, like, because the main Bothan in Heir to the Empire is just Borskvalia.
I think he's the only one mentioned.
Yeah. So, I guess the only way we see the stereotype of Bothan political ambition is just from the inner monologues and the things that the characters say. You know, it's just, oh, those Bothans and their political ambition.
Oh my god, they're tiny.
It seems like
Bothans are 1.4 to 1.5 meters tall.
that's not tall.
That's not tall. That's shorter than you.
I was imagining I'm not fucking short.
Okay. How tall are you?
5'7".
That is shorter than you. I said a fact.
The way you said it, you was like, that's shorter than you.
I stated a fact.
It's not what you said, it was the way you said it. Anyway.
Oh my god, they can interbreed with other species. Sorry. Okay, give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
I would like named Bothans. This is so stupid.
Yeah. They talk a lot about, like, the Bothan fur rippling in
Yeah, I assumed
frustration.
it was like a cat.
Yeah.
Because they're like cat people.
I thought they were like wolf people.
Oh my god. Bothan culture was guided by a philosophy known as the Way, just like the Mandalorians. Maybe they stole it.
Probably.
Maybe. State of genocidal war among the Bothans. Why can't I just find a list of the Bothans? There's 254 named Bothans. Okay, so you're telling me all 254 of these people are absolutely fucking insane? Like,
I'm not saying that.
Borsk level? No, I mean like in general.
Yeah, I know.
Bandor Mock. Sorry, I need to get away from that. That's insane. Okay, yeah, no. And then it's like the Nogri are also, people are incredibly racist to them.
Yes.
Presumably, people are still racist to Wookiees, even though we don't see it. Because everyone's too afraid to say racist things to Han Solo. Okay, the Jedi.
Yeah.
Are you pro or anti-Jedi? You'll be canceled if you answer incorrectly.
Like, as like a...
I will
like
cancel
in universe or out of universe?
In universe and out of universe.
Out of universe, I think it's fun that they exist. I think they're fun to talk about. In universe, I think they're problematic.
Yeah.
But cool.
But cool.
Yeah.
I'm becoming a real Jedi stan.
Yeah? What does that mean?
I just fucking love Mace Windu. You know, Anakin was a bitch. I think no one's talking about that.
Yeah.
Unrelated to Heir to the Empire, this man has been dead for 9 years. How do you feel about the new Jedi Order? Which is not the new Jedi Order yet.
It doesn't exist yet.
It doesn't exist, but how do you feel about Luke attempting?
Well, I think it's really interesting it's the Jedi, I think, are remembered as a integral part of the Old Republic culture. And so...
Are they, though?
Yeah.
Do we know that?
Why else would they put so much effort into the supportive...
Do you think anyone in Georgia in 17... when did Paul Revere do that thing?
Yeah, the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere was in 1775, which is, for those who didn't grow up in New England, Paul Revere was a guy, a dude. He was famous for being on his way to warn American colonists who were anti-Britain about the invasion of the Redcoats, contributing to wins at Lexington and Concord in the American Revolutionary War.
Anyone in Georgia in 1777 gave a fuck who Paul Revere was.
Just like historical memory and how different people care about different things.
Yeah, it's propaganda, babes.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's just found a thing for propaganda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean the Jedi mattered, other than the war part.
Yeah. I mean...
They're like mythical beings.
Yeah, I mean, but there's like a museum in Coruscant full of stuff about the Jedi. I mean, that is propaganda.
It is propaganda.
But like, it was still a part of the Old Republic's propaganda, and now the New Republic wants it to be a part of their propaganda.
Not to pull up my Han Solo receipts.
Yeah, I know what Han Solo thinks about the Jedi.
No, but I'm saying, in this timeline, there are Corellian Jedi from where he's from, right?
Yeah.
Because the prequels don't exist. Jedi can still fuck.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a Jedi Knight, I'm out of it for a little while and everybody gets delusions of grandeur. Like, do these people, even if they are from places where there are Jedi, genuinely believe the Jedi fucking existed? Even. Or if they're just like a fucking bedtime story.
But I still think, I mean, it's a different process, but bedtime stories and, I mean, I guess folklore are used in constructing a shared identity.
Well,
you know?
I'm not saying they don't.
Yeah.
Just, how much do you think about Tajikistan?
Not much.
Okay, so if I decided to take over the entire world, this all needs to be cut. I just want to explain to you my thought process. If I decide to take over the entire world and then I'm just like, I become a weeabooba for Tajikistan, right? And then I'm like, I love what the founding myth of my new government is Tajikistan. All of the people in the future are going to be like, these bitches love Tajikistan, right? Like, I have always loved that.
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
Right.
I made all those stories up.
Yeah.
I can't even point that out on a map. I can. I know where it is. It's the only doubly landlocked country in Asia. I won the geography bee in 7th grade.
Oh, good for you.
I almost got to go to state.
Wow.
But then I got anxious.
Oh, no.
And I, like, have kind of, become a Jedi stan. But I think, you know, it's kind of like superhero. To a certain degree. But it's kind of, you know, I guess a lot of it would be Imperial propaganda to try to delegitimize the Jedi.
Like,
but there were 10,000 Jedi in a galaxy with 300 trillion people.
Right.
That's not a lot.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah. But I
an
mean,
insanely
I
small
think
number.
That I still think, the New Republic is not.
I realize that Wedge Antilles was there for both Death Star runs. Who the fucking 5ABY gives a fuck about Wedge Antilles? And don't say Luke Skywalker or Leia Organa or Han Solo or Mon Mothma or Admiral Akbar. Like, I'm talking like random motherfuckers, right?
Like,
they don't know who that man is. He's just a little Scottish man.
Yeah.
Like, and he's wearing a helmet. They don't know who he is.
Yeah.
He's just a guy.
Yeah.
In a ship. A very cool ship, but a ship. And maybe people are like, damn, I love X-Wings. Maybe that is an in-universe and out-of-universe opinion.
I mean, how could you not?
I know, they just look so cool. And then also, like, in Dark Empire, which, to be fair, I have not read, but I do know that Palpatine's in it, is that, like, Han literally says, and this happens around the same time, is Han is like, yeah, well, if he's such a great Jedi, how come I have to keep rescuing him? And it's still this, like, pretty constant delegitimizing of what it is to use the Force, because it's literally fucking magic.
Yeah.
Luminous beings we are.
I don't know. I mean, like, back to, like, New Republic propaganda about the Jedi and, like, why. I mean, I guess would amend that, I guess it's not that the Jedi were important to the, like, culture of the Old Republic, but I think...
For the either 1,000 years or 1,000 generations it existed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think there are a lot of things that Old Republic elites thought were important and thought were galaxy-wide and evidently were not.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, the Trade Federation blockade of Naboo.
Yeah. Or...
That only happened on Naboo.
Yeah.
Naboo is actually the center. It's the America.
Oh my god. I thought it was Italy. I thought Naboo was Venice.
It's literally Lake Como.
LOL.
Yeah. But it's America.
Oh, okay.
There's a...
Oh, the tariffs.
Yeah.
LOL.
Yeah, with the tariffs.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a propaganda thing. I mean, I think, like, Anakin Skywalker mattered.
Yeah, that was the whole thing, was, like, the propaganda.
Okay, but yeah, also those books were written 15 years after Heir of the Empire came out. In universe.
Yeah.
In universe, yes.
Yeah, in universe.
At least Anakin Skywalker mattered.
And
because he was a bad
Ewan
bitch.
McGregor.
And Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Because also, I love Ewan McGregor, but goddamn, Alec Guinness. No, but I mean, like, okay, say Atlantis. It's a thing. May or may not have existed. Some people theorize that there were cities where the Mediterranean is now, after the glaciers receded. that the Mediterranean filled up in like 100 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there were probably people that lived there, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And we think about them. But do they matter? Does that make sense?
What does it mean to matter?
In the grand scheme of things.
Mm-hmm.
Can they turn the tide? Because obviously the Jedi did not turn the tide of like the Empire
they didn't turn
happening.
the tide against the ocean filling up
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
Mediterranean.
saying. Sheev is literally the Mediterranean Ocean. Sea. It's a sea, not an ocean.
Yeah. Mm.
I'm just being contrarian.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because I think Luke's kind of annoying in this book.
Yeah.
Which I guess tracks.
Yeah.
He loves shooting womp rats
Yeah.
and drinking his
He
chalky
loves hot
milk.
chocolate.
And
Warm chalky milk.
thinking everyone except his nephew in a different canonical timeline is redeemable. What is a religion?
No one knows.
No one knows. What are the Jedi, if not a religion? Are they an ethnic group?
What does it mean to be an ethnic group?
I don't know. What does it mean to be okay. So there's Solonians on Corellia, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Deveronians
Mm-hmm.
and humans. Are they 3 separate ethnic groups or one ethnic group?
I have no idea. I mean, I don't know anything about. I think separate because
Solonians are the otter
clear,
people.
They were talking about.
Like obviously Gungans and the Naboo are separate groups
Mm-hmm.
because racism.
Yeah.
But Corellia seems slightly less racist, all things considered. Because, like, you do have places
Mm-hmm.
where multiple groups that would not necessarily be considered, not to get into race science, that would not necessarily be considered the same ethnic group are because of other factors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think ethnicity, like
Is fake.
religion, it's a very slippery term, and it's
Yes.
defined based on who
The Jedi have a
who's
shared
gonna be
culture.
controlled. Yeah, is shared culture what defines ethnicity?
Yeah, a little bit. If you were alive, like, 3,000 years ago, and you married an Israelite,
Mm-hmm.
you would then become Israelite, and your children would be Israel.
Yeah.
Especially those who are not Christian, Jewish, Zoroastrian, Samaritan, Hindu, and a bunch of other religions that are legally protected. But
Yeah.
Zoroastrianism, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they theoretically let converts happen,
Mm-hmm.
because they don't, those converts would have to take up all of the parts of the culture.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the shared heritage
Mm.
is what makes an ethnicity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are the Corellian Jedi a specific sub-ethnicity of Jedi?
I have no idea. And do you give up your previous ethnicity
Well, they
when you
kidnap
become
babies.
a Jedi? Yeah. So it's
So that's the other
well,
thing. Is
yeah,
they're like
yeah.
they're I guess kidnap babies. There were air quotes.
Mm-hmm. Not pictured.
Not pictured. Air quotes. Kidnap babies. Pay parents for their children. I don't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't. How unruly is like a force-sensitive 3-year-old?
Probably
Maybe
menace.
Maybe it's like good to give up your baby.
Yeah, like take this fucking thing.
Oh my God, he
Shit
keeps
keeps
controlling
levitating.
shit with his mind. Except he's 2. Get him out of my house.
So he's evil.
It's like they do grow up with a shared culture.
Yeah.
And they do have shared values.
Oh, here's my problem is that I was thinking about.
Is it because there's a
I was
little
thinking about
goblin
like
dude?
post. Because I was thinking about post Order 66 Jedi, and which aren't much of a thing, you know. So
Yeah, they're not much of a thing.
Are
There's
they?
no concept of them yet.
yeah,
At the point we're talking. I guess more broadly.
yeah.
Presumably
So I
everyone.
wasn't like thinking about how the actual mechanics of how the Jedi all get to the Jedi Temple, you know.
Mm-hmm. They steal them.
Yeah, they steal them.
Steal the babies.
They steal the babies. They brainwash them. No?
That's a relative term.
Yeah. Or, I mean, every brainwashing you can apply to anything. Like, I'm
Yeah,
brainwashed.
they went
for-
to school.
They went to school.
They went to
They went
Jedi
to Jedi
school.
school.
A little green man taught them how to use a lightsaber
Yeah.
at 5.
And they have shared, like, cultural practices and
Yeah.
beliefs. And also a shared territory, almost. But the territory is the Jedi Temple.
It was a building.
It's a building.
It's a large building.
It is a big building, but I don't know, because the other thing that I feel like is similar to the attempt to reconstitute the Jedi is also the move of the center of the New Republic back to Coruscant, because that's another way that was a propaganda tool, was just to be like, oh, look how we're the same place, same space
Oh my
cops.
God, all of the government infrastructure is here.
Love government infrastructure.
I mean, but also, like, what... Because, you know, Luke is very concerned, I guess would be the word, about, like, what Yoda and Ben wanted him to do. But ultimately, what were they doing if not attempting to pass on the culture that was destroyed?
Yeah.
Or the religion that was destroyed, whatever word you want to use.
Mm-hmm.
Which I would say is grounds
For
the Jedi being an ethnicity.
mm-hmm.
But like, or at least like a shared culture.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
yeah.
that Venn diagram's a circle, so.
Fucking.
Han thinks the Jedi are so fake.
Yeah. Yeah. What are some of the things that Han Solo thinks about the Jedi? And why does it matter what Han Solo thinks about the Jedi? Is he sort of an everyman's perspective on the Jedi? Or is he just some guy
I
who's
just
a
think
fucking
Harrison
hater?
Ford is hot.
All right.
Also, his wife is a fucking Jedi, so.
Yeah. And he
His
still
wife
hates
is
the
literally
but
force
he's also
sensitive.
his wife, and he's like, oh, why does she read my mind so well? That's crazy. She gets me.
Oh my god,
How
she's
does that
so
happen?
mean. And his children are Jedi
Yeah.
when they eventually exist. And they're like real Jedi.
Who's a fake Jedi?
Luke,
Luke's a fake Jedi?
low key. What does he do other than meditate while doing handstands? And No, it matters because he is the father of not one, not two, but 3 Jedi.
3 Jedi? I guess they probably had sex again.
Yeah, there's a baby in Dark Empire.
No way.
Yeah, that's that. Second of all, I think he is very much an everyman.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Corellia is very much an everyman. He's also the only person who has opinions
Yeah.
in Star Wars. No one else in the movies has opinions.
Yeah.
It's literally just him. And his opinions are, damn, I want to fuck Leia.
Yeah.
And I'll kill myself if Luke is fucking Leia. Let's not think about the implications of that.
And the Force is stupid.
And the Force is stupid and dumb. Why is this weird old man on my ship? Also, I just like Corellia.
Corellia is cool.
I'm a Corellia stan.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
have you been infected by the woke mind virus of being a Jedi stan?
I don't know.
I was just saying, maybe they're a culture, and maybe we shouldn't judge them as severely as we do. Because maybe they have cultural practices that we don't necessarily understand.
Mm-hmm. I think it's not the...
I'm really pulling a
I
fucking
feel-
Duke Leto the second
My
on
problem with
Arrakis
the
right
Jedi
now.
isn't the, like, their practices. My problem with them is the role they end up playing in...
How do you feel about the Mujahideen?
Okay, that's a good point. Yeah. I don't know. That's so interesting. Now I get what you're saying.
No, yeah.
Yeah, now I
no,
get what
it's
you're
like,
saying.
okay, well, they have shared culture just because there's a whack job or two.
Yeah.
Quick note, there's hot chocolate, right? Does that mean there's cocaine?
I don't know.
I would say yes. Well, there's spice because this is just Dune.
Yeah.
Well, we did it, guys.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Okay. Fucking...
So, next episode, we are going to talk about The Last Command. It was published originally in June of 1992 by none other than Bantam Spectra. Second only to Ace Books, I guess. Yeah, cover art's from 93. We'll be back next week, but maybe not for you guys. Who is you guys? Us when we... But yeah, we'll return sooner rather than later
Yeah.
to talk about Dark Force Rising.
The Dark Force will rise.
It will. And we will continue being Thrawn-pilled.
It will never stop.
I really wish it would.
Maybe if we talk about him enough, we'll get sick of it.
We've been doing this for a year.